Hey guys, welcome to week 2 of renovations here at the Gray Cottage.
So we are renovating this 1960s ranch-style house for my parents on a budget of only $5,000. The house is super dull and boring, so my number one goal of the remodel is to add some character. I'm wanting to do a cottage theme, and I have named this house the Gray Cottage. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe because this is a renovation that you won't want to miss.
So we got a lot done this week on renovations, so without further ado, let's get to renovating.
Last week we removed the surrounding wall of the unused chimney in the kitchen, and this week we are tackling the big project of removing the chimney. Obie started in the attic, breaking up the block and setting it aside. Then he moved down into the house and started breaking it apart, and we hauled it away piece by piece. Now we just need to fix the hole in the ceiling and put down flooring over the hole in the floor. So there were build-ins over the kitchen cabinets. They kind of closed in the space and made it unusable, so we wanted to just go ahead and remove them. And it was fairly easy to do. All we had to do was rip off the sheetrock and then knock out the 2x4s that kind of framed it in, and we pulled it all out. It definitely helps open up the space, and I am looking forward to having shelves on top of the kitchen cabinets to put different decorations and things. We also removed a couple cabinets from one side of the kitchen. We will be reconfiguring the kitchen to make room for the future opening into the dining room. So for the hole that was in the floor where the chimney was, we added a brace in the floor and added these boards for the flooring. So for the hole in the ceiling, we'll add a couple boards for bracing and add some new insulation and put in a new ceiling. Now that the chimney is out of the way, we started removing the wall between the kitchen and the living room. We're just going to be removing just a part of it just to give a little bit more space, open it up so it doesn't have such a tight walkway. It's a fairly simple process. We removed some of the paneling in the living room and then started knocking out some of the 2x4s. We doubled up the 2x4s on where we are wanting to end the wall. We still have to add a header and a little bit more bracing to the wall so that it is structurally sound, but for now this is all we've got finished, and we will be working on that next week. Obie went ahead and removed the light fixtures that were in the kitchen so that we will be ready to put the new ceiling in soon. In the laundry room, we added this beautiful light fixture. It was originally this dark green color, but we gave it a fresh coat of white paint so that it would stand out against the dark ceiling. This was a light fixture that someone had changed out of their house, so they gave it to us for free. The vinyl flooring that we ordered finally arrived, so we were able to lay it down. Unfortunately, because we ordered it online, the website didn't calculate the correct size that we needed, so we were a little bit short on the one side, but that's not a super big deal as the washer and dryer will be covering that area, but we made it work anyways. So to apply it, we first laid it out and cut around the edges of the rooms to fit around the trim and under the doors and such, and made sure it all fit nicely. And then we applied the glue to half of the floor, let it dry so that it was nice and tacky and ready for the vinyl. We laid the vinyl out and then just made sure it was in the correct position. Then we applied the glue to the second half of the room, allowed that to dry to tackiness, and then laid out the vinyl on it. I love how the floor looks, although it's by no means perfect, so don't look too closely, but it was an affordable option for us. It came out to be a total of $58 and some change, so it was affordable and it definitely helped update this space. So we finished up painting in the bedrooms and we started putting the new ceiling up. In the one room, we used shiplap that we made from a 4x8 Luan sheets. We cut them down on a table saw and then painted them. They are lightweight, so they're perfect for the ceiling. We just cut them up so they would stagger in size and then nailed them up using a nail gun. For the other bedroom, we used the same pine wood that we used in the laundry room. This is wood that we got for free from our neighbor. So we just nailed it up there using a nail gun. I really like the dark ceiling against the white walls. It definitely makes the room pop. It took about a day's worth of work of putting it up. Got her done.
Yep. Okay, so when you're pulling off trim, which most people should know this, you will want to number your trim, because if you try to piece it back up, you take a lot of trim off, you're gonna have trim, you're not gonna know how to put it back together. And then if you pick a base location and start with number 1, let's say over the door, number 1, and then work your way around one direction, you can just write on number 1, number 2, number 3, and that way you don't get all your trim mixed up.
So for the hallway, I started prepping it for painting. I filled in any holes that were in the sheetrock, and I started giving the walls a really good cleaning along with the trim around the doors, and I went ahead and primed the trim that were around the doors. So we removed the trim around the top of the hallway and we started putting in shiplap ceiling. Obie removed the really strange little fan that was in the hallway. Obie ran new wiring for new lights in the hallway. So here he is cutting out the holes for the light boxes. And he installed these new light fixtures. So we actually got these light fixtures for free. Someone was tearing down an old trailer house and they asked if we would like to salvage anything. So we found these in it and we removed them. So that saved us about 20-30 bucks on light fixtures. They look really great and they really help lighten up the hallway. Next, we started painting. We are using the paint sprayer and we were able to paint it fairly quickly. Got 2 coats of that up and got that all done. Painted the trim and put it back up. So that's all we got done this week. We are hoping to start sanding the floors next week, so be sure to check back next Wednesday to see what we got done.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have not already, be sure to hit the subscribe button and we will see you guys next week for week 3 of renovations.